Hey everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zan. I'm joined by the original Rescue Ranger, Rich Stambolian.
Ooh, who's the guy with the jacket?
You're not Chip or Dale.
I'm not Chip or Dale.
Which one are you? Which one's a cool one?
Chip, I think, is the cool one. Dale is with the Hawaiian shirt.
Okay, cool.
I feel like I want to be Chip, but I definitely have Dale vibes.
You have to... What's going on, Rich?
Nothing, man. How you doing?
Good. Glad to have you back in the studio.
Yeah.
You were away last week.
But I was here on Sunday.
But you were here on Sunday. No. I know you were here on Sunday, but dude, I think we are done with the watch-alongs. I think I've finally turned into a pumpkin.
You know, I really want to have an argument against what you're saying,
but you don't have a valid one. But same for me.
I don't really have a valid one. You know, during the pandemic, they were fun because we were doing it remote and we were getting effing sloshed.
Oh, yeah.
I think now where it's like, honestly, it's the AEW stuff goes until midnight and then we do like a little bit of a post show and we're not in bed by like 2:30. And listen.
Yeah.
You don't like it.
I have to tell you, I don't know what to do with it, to be honest, because I do enjoy aspects of it.
Yes.
But like after 10:45,
done.
I'm like, can this end? Because it's very difficult to continue doing a show. Like you're not actually watching. There's a lot of watch-alongs out there that people. It's just literally them watching the pay-per-view and every couple minutes commenting on what's happening.
Yeah.
We're actually attempting to do something insane.
We keep it going. We really keep it going, for better or worse.
I got to tell you, like, I had 2 drinks. I was hungover from talking.
Yeah, dude.
Like, all day Monday. It ruined my Monday. So, I don't know. WrestleMania's coming up. We may just do that as our swan song.
All right.
Because we won't be doing Double or Nothing. Do you know why? Because we're going to be there.
Oh, that's right.
We're going to be live in Las Vegas. Guys, a lot going on. The F4W convention is happening in Vegas. Head on over to f4wonline.com. Get more information on the convention. I don't have the exact link. MG, if you have the link, drop it in the chat. I'm going to see a lot of you guys over there. We're going to, Rich and I are definitely going.
Yes.
It's going to be very expensive, but we are trying to subsidize some of this.
It's going to be fun. Again, guys, if you want to help us, you can super chats with the hashtag Viva Las Vegas.
So this is what we're going to do. We are trying to crowdfund this as much as we can. Last week we did $200 on the show. This is going for Suncast tickets. It's going to MG Geeks tickets. I want to get the boys there. I want to get if we could have both of them, great. If we get one of them, that's fine, but I want to try to get everybody there. So, if you're watching this live, fund us here on YouTube, hit the super chat button, fund us as little as you want, or as much as you want. We have one here for $5 and it says, read this. Can you read that?
I don't know if I should. I kind of want to know what that means first before we go into reading it.
I don't know what language this is in.
I think, is it Maori? Is it German? What is that?
That's some gnarly German, if it is.
Guys,
I believe it is German. So let's see. What does this mean?
You try and then I try.
Okay. English German.
It's apparently a tongue twister in German.
Oh, I'll die. You're way better at it.
Let's see.
Can you add a very aggressive German accent to it? Like one that like not enough to get us removed from YouTube, but just enough that people are like, that's funny.
Wani kima ko kim iia o a koam kena kina.
Dude, there we go. That was like Polynesian.
That was no, that was very close.
Very good job, Rich. So we got a lot going on here. Obviously, we're gonna be doing super chats at the end. A lot to talk about. Where do you want to begin, Rich? I don't even have the notes open. Now I do. There we go. All right,
you know what? Let's since we did the watch along,
we got news and stuff, right?
We're beat up on AEW for right now. We're going to talk a lot about AEW at some point during the show. Let's do the WWE stuff. WWE and MSG happened this Saturday night.
Yeah, it was Saturday.
Funky.
It was interesting. A lot of speculation over the show. There was so much hype going into it. Obviously, they mentioned on TV. The Paul Heyman promo on who the opponent's going to be for Brock Lesnar. It ended up being Austin Theory, the guy that was always going to be the opponent.
Yeah.
I don't know if the plans got screwed up here, that they were trying to get someone else to show up and he didn't, or they went back and forth. But they did like a squash match, and the big finish was Roman attacked Brock. He cut him. He busted open.
Mm-hmm.
He was bleeding. The show ends with Roman standing over Brock with both titles.
Pretty cool.
All right, cool.
I like that. All right, so now, we've talked about this for the last few weeks. Are we going to get just like a massive belt that covers Brock or Roman's entire torso?
Oh, if we combine the belts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think they're unifying the titles. I think they are. So I'm a big fan of single belts. You know, like I don't like having multiple world titles in a company. I've never been a fan of it. I think you have a really good secondary title, really strong secondary title. That is your elevating piece. Like almost like what you know what I really liked about WCW? Mm-hmm. They had that rule, and WWE also with the IC title, that if you had the US title, right?
Yeah.
You could cash it in. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that. Like the X Division title?
No. In WCW, if you were the US champion,
yeah,
you were automatically the number one contender, and you could give your title up for a world title shot.
I remember the number one contender thing. I don't remember giving up the belt. But again,
you couldn't have both titles.
I wasn't a super hardcore WCW guy.
Am I false? Is this like a false memory? Because I single-handedly remember you had to give that title up if you challenged for the world title.
And you're not thinking of the X Division title.
No. I'm not thinking of X Division. So I'm a big fan of that. Like, but you know, like having a guy like Booker T as your US champion, right? And then challenging for the world title. I feel like that's the way it should be. I don't like having two world championships. I get why they're doing it because the brands have to be separate.
Yes.
I don't think it's a contractual obligation that they have that they got to have two titles on each brand. But I do think that you could do something different here. Something a little bit different where it's not the same old U.S. Universal title and a world title. By the way, I hate the name Universal title.
Same here.
I think it's stupid.
Same here. Undisputed title worked.
Undisputed title worked. But you know what else? WWE title and world title works.
WWE Unified Champion.
There's a lot that you could do.
WWE Ultimate Champion.
The Ultimate Champion.
Ultimate Champion of the Galaxy.
Ultimate Fighting Champion.
There you go. Question for you about the watch-alongs.
Yeah.
What if they were on Saturday? Would that make it better? I feel like it would.
It's always better. But then I feel like my whole night is gone. Okay. My whole afternoon pretty much is gone. So if we're doing a show on a Saturday, like a watch along at like 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, like I'm not going out, for brunch.
You know, we used to.
I know,
right?
Isn't that crazy?
Guys, if you're just tuning in right now, this is how we used to do these watch-alongs. At about 3 o'clock, we'd start getting a little torqued up.
Yeah.
And then we'd hop into the studio at 6, do a pre-show, and then do an entire watch-along. And by that 11th hour, by 11 o'clock, we were
out of our minds.
So pished, hammered, nasty. And I think we even would stay up until like 2 and just do nonsense and take calls.
Yeah.
What happened to that energy?
Dude, we got old.
Did the pan take it away?
I had kids.
That's true. Weren't we doing that during like the first couple of years though?
Maybe a little bit, but I wasn't as defeated as I am now.
Are you defeated?
I'm very defeated. I'm so tired.
What if anytime there was a pay-per-view, we just took a flight to the West Coast and then did the 5 p.m.
I'm at the level of needing to take like ginseng enemas.
Oh, you doing that ginkgo biloba? Oh yeah,
to keep myself awake. That's the only way I function now. I take a ginseng suppository.
I imagine that stings a little bit.
A little bit. Guys, let's start off with some stuff here. Obviously, we spoke about the WWE MSG show. Vince's appearance on Pat McAfee last week. It is so weird to see Vince in anything outside of his bonkers role because you realize that like he's like not like a normal person.
He's a person.
This is not a normal person.
Yeah.
This is a bizarre human being that has created a multi-billion-dollar empire. Unbelievable. So that was interesting. He's going to be inducting The Undertaker into Hall of Fame. This is all new stuff, so we're going to get to a lot of stuff. It was a fun, loose show. It was weird. Vince was cursing.
It was almost like a Scarface to me. Like watching him. Almost. It was like his version of Scarface where he's like, oh, I guess I'm the effing bad guy. Who's the bad guy? I'm the bad guy.
Yeah. WWE 2K22 was released this week. WWE is reportedly shopping their video game to EA. Didn't EA make that last WCW one that was terrible?
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
I remember that. I think it was that. Smackdown news, Pat McAfee's opponent was revealed to be Austin Theory. So a lot of speculation what's going on here, right? It was leaked that Vince is the guy, right? And I think Dave had mentioned that Vince is on, essentially on the sheet for WrestleMania. I do think Vince is going to be involved.
Yeah,
right? Sure. Again, a lot of smoke and mirrors here. There's going to be a lot of moving parts here. I think Vince is going to be very involved in this. I don't know if an opponent comes, a partner comes in for McAfee, turns into something or what, but a lot of smoke and mirrors with this. I expect Vince to be very, very hands-on in this match. We'll see what happens there. Ricochet wins the IC title from Sami Zayn.
Yes.
Ronda defeated Sonya Deville. Ronda looked good.
Yeah.
She was in her old gear. She was moving around a little better, just getting there. Showed at 2.26 million. Big rating.
Not bad.
Not a bad rating at all. You want to go into Raw?
Absolutely. So Kevin Owens calls out Steve Austin for the KO show at WrestleMania. We saw that coming a mile away, right? What we did not see coming was that cinematic response from Stone Cold Steve Austin driving his truck, getting out of the truck, telling him all the Steve Austin stuff. He's gonna stomp a hole in him, whoop ass, the whole nine, all the copyrighted catchphrase. We still don't know what this is gonna be. If it's gonna night one, is he gonna show up on the Kevin Owens show, stunner him, kick his ass, or is he gonna get beat? And then night two, you get a match. What's happened?
So I envision that this turns into a match, right?
Okay.
He comes out. They set it up for the Kevin Owens. Oh, Austin's music hits. Austin is in gear to fight. Now, whether that means short denim shorts and a knee brace or the black undies, I don't know.
I got my shorts and they're shorter than ever.
What is that,
KO.
Steve? What is that, Steve?
I got my shorts. They're very short.
So I don't know how he's going to come. But listen, he looked good. The dude is in great shape.
Yes.
From all indications. They can very easily do, but that promo that he cut in that interview, in that clip, to me, it was like, hey, I'm going to wrestle. I haven't wrestled in 19 years. I haven't done this in 19 years. And now it took, he's essentially saying, like, it took me a while to get it out of me, but now it's back. I want to kick some ass at WrestleMania.
I got the same vibe.
But here's what it is. I don't think he's going to go out there and just stun him and just beat him up. We've seen that before.
True.
He did that with the New Day, right? Like, so if it is that, you wouldn't treat it as something special in a video promo.
Right.
Right? It's going to be more than that. So I think, you know what they're going to do? He's going to go to stun him, or you know what? KO goes to stun him.
Ooh, yeah.
And he sneaks out. He does the thing, and Kevin Owens runs out of the ring. Austin chases him. They get in. He puts the boots to him. Off the rope. Luthez Prez, stomp a mud hole, stunner. They do something for like 5 minutes, and you know what? You go home happy. And then he opens beer and he pours it all over himself for like 35 minutes.
And KO will sell the crap out of whatever they do. And also, is this KO's reward for re-signing with the company?
It possibly could be, dude. You know what? His stunner got better.
Stunner got a lot better.
A lot better.
Yeah.
It was a little flaky at first.
He's looking a lot thicker too.
Kevin Owens?
Yeah, like in a good way. Almost like very muscular. Now I'm not saying like a Vader bod,
listen,
Vader
you're going into a program with Steve Austin. You got to look a little better, right?
Gotta look good.
Imagine
if Austin just shows up like straight up HGH jacked,
like Bill Goldberg,
like thick.
I borrowed his body.
Like Triple H return, like jacked.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I love that. What else do we have?
Randy Orton and Riddle won the tag team titles in a honestly pretty excellent match and really excellent RKO, a very choreographed, perfect RKO to a moonsaulting Chad Gable.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was fun. Bron Breakker making his Raw debut, teaming with the Italian man Tommaso Ciampa to beat Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. That was fun too. You could tell that they love this Bron Breakker fella.
Dude, they fucking love Bron Breakker.
Fucking love him.
He's gonna be a star.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of when, and and how big. Does he become John Cena big? It's very possible.
Does he become John Cena big? Yeah, I don't know, man. Cena's a weird cat because he had that Hogan vibe.
Cena,
yeah,
like a robot. Yeah.
Well, like kids love him.
Kids love him, and I think kids are gonna love Braun. I spoke to somebody over there. I was like, off the record conversation, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I'm like, I got a question. I'm like, and I mentioned some names. I'm like, why don't those guys get a push? Like, why aren't those guys at like the top level?
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at me. He's like, listen, just like any other job, a lot of it is outside performance. If you're well liked, you will have a spot.
Yeah.
If you're well liked, sometimes like there are guys that have everything, but they're just not that they do anything bad. They're just not likable. Claudio's very likable, but you know he doesn't have the promo.
Yeah.
To WWE standards, not mine or anybody else. I think Claudio is a fantastic talent, but you know Vince is never going to put him up. But there are other people. I'll tell you off the air.
Yeah.
That you know I don't want to like. Okay, you know what? Baron Corbin, great example, right? Many of the fans dislike this man for whatever reason. He is one of the most well-liked people in that company, and that is and you know what? And he does everything they want him to do. Yep. He never, you know, he's a team player, and he's happy doing it, and they love that about him, and that's why he's in the position he's in. He's always in the mix somewhere.
He's always in the mix. He's been in storylines for years, and I think like with him, it worked. Their interesting system that they're trying to recreate worked with Baron Corbin. Big fat football guy that they hired. Right? He put in the work. He slimmed down. Big guy, right? Played ball. Put him on the main roster. Kept playing ball. There is like there's an interesting clip of him a few years ago where he's like shadowboxing with Vince in Gorilla.
Who? Oh,
Baron Corbin.
That's weird.
They're just like roughhousing a little bit, and I'm like, oh, this guy's got a job for life after this.
Yeah, he's roughhousing with Vince.
Yeah, I think if you roughhouse with Vince and he likes you and you're doing what you got to do, no problem.
I like tough guys.
Big man, tough.
Big tough. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan were added to WrestleMania Women's Tag Match after they beat Carmella and Zelina. The show did 1.77. All right. Yeah, that's an okay number.
Sure.
Yeah, whatever. WrestleMania update. The WrestleMania pre-show on Saturday will be simulcasted on USA, courtesy of Andrew Zarian right there.
Cool. Oh, yeah, you're doing it.
I'm doing it. No,
you're holding the attendance?
So I don't know about night 2. When I spoke to someone at USA, they only mentioned night 1 to me, so we'll see that. Vader added to the Hall of Fame.
Hell yeah.
You want to see my Vader?
Yes, I want to see your Vader. Yeah, it's a great Vader.
Claw hands. He has claw hands, dude.
He does.
That's why.
So good.
I went to school with a kid. His hand blew up in a firecracker accident.
No,
he had Vader hands. Yeah, poor kid.
Ugh.
Yeah. It's very sad.
Terrifying.
So I'll give you another name. I was told. I was told Sid.
Okay.
Going in the Hall of Fame. I posted that one. I have another one that I'm having a lot of confusion with the confirmation. Okay. So I was told the Steiners going in.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. And then I was told only Rick. Now I don't necessarily, but I'm not saying that is happening.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to report it because I'm not sure. This is just me having a conversation with you guys. And then I was told Charmel also, which I didn't even ask to confirm it, but like the Sid things, somebody blatantly told me, oh yeah, Sid. The Steiners make a ton of sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the deal with Scotty is and them. I would hope that they're going in together.
Yeah, dude, they gotta.
But I would imagine that they're both going in. But like, I got like 2 people. They're like, yeah, no, it's Rick. Only Rick. I'm like,
Rick.
Well, Rick did have a great career before the tag team. You know, he was a key player in Crockett.
Right.
He was a great singles guy. So it's very possible, but I cannot imagine that they're going to induct only Rick Steiner and not Scotty.
That's just bizarre, dude.
And then you have Bron Breakker do the whole promo. You know.
My uncle, my dad, my uncle. Dad, uncle. We're all the same person.
They are all the same person.
He's like, Bron Breakker is the Dr. Manhattan of wrestling. Can I do a little inside baseball right now about our social media posts?
Oh, yeah.
Because this...
Oh, your mic's cutting up. Push it in the hole.
I gotta push it.
There you go.
This made me laugh so much yesterday. I was driving around.
Oh, hold on. You know what? Unplug it in.
Oh, boy. All right.
I think...
Is that better?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah.
Oh shit! No.
Is that not better?
No.
Guys, can you feel me? Is it just you?
No, it's you.
You're trying to cut off my story?
I don't know what's going on.
I can hear myself like perfectly.
You don't hear yourself cutting off?
No.
Interesting. Okay.
No, not at all. Do you guys hear me cutting off?
No, now it's fine.
Anyway, so I was driving around yesterday, and we have a certain person doing our social posts for us. And for some reason, it just won't click every time he's doing it. And I think it's the funniest thing in the world, especially when he posted the Sid picture, and your response was, "What are you doing? It's just a close up of his chest." I saw that in the middle of traffic and was like, "Yeah."
See, now you got cut off again.
I gotta stop talking.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm leaving.
You know what? I think you might be putting too much pressure on the cable.
The mic cable?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I think it's like tight.
Oh, got it. You know what? You might be right.
Yeah, I think if you leave it like that, it'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
We'll see. And I'll do this to you. The signal to push it in. Yeah, no. One of these. All right.
We're docking.
Let's see. So I heard Sid, obviously I mentioned Sid on social media, but I also heard the Steiners. I think other people had mentioned the Steiners too, so it's not that big of a deal. I think a lot of people were aware of that. The Charmel stuff is weird. Like I don't know. I guess okay, cool. You know.
I guess so. Yeah.
Then there was a report that there's going to be a whole bunch that are like digital. They're not going to be there. I think Garrett mentioned that to me. Yeah, he's like, oh, there's gonna be a whole bunch like that are just like, hey, they're not even there. That was like an option. I'm like, what? Like a Zoom call? Hey guys, I'm sitting in my living room. It's me, Scotty.
That's interesting.
Like,
you know who's gonna get inducted at some point?
Who?
The Jackass guys.
The Jackass guys.
Yeah, give it like 5 years. You're gonna get like the celebrity induction is gonna be like Johnny Knoxville and Steve-O.
Are they not in it?
I don't.
Johnny Knoxville not in the Hall of Fame yet?
I don't think
I would
so.
imagine he would have to be. Who's a celebrity in this year?
Johnny Knoxville.
Maybe Johnny Knoxville. You
that
could
would
do
be great.
I don't care for it, man. I don't like the celebrity aspects of it.
I'm okay.
Sometimes it works. You know who worked? Kevin Federline.
Why?
I couldn't believe I couldn't believe the amount of heat this man got. Like go away heat when he showed up.
He really did. Logan Paul at some point.
Logan Paul, yeah. Oh, you know the Paul brothers. Yeah, they'll get a lot of heat. Night 1 is set. SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair defends against Ronda Rousey. Raw. Who do you think wins that? You think Ronda takes the title?
Absolutely.
She has to, right?
Absolutely.
Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch defends against Bianca Belair. Wow, both titles getting defended on night 1. I forgot.
Great.
Ray and Dominic versus The Miz and Logan Paul.
I'm actually kind of looking forward to that.
What just happened in our chat? I don't know.
What happened?
I don't know. We got like 500 things happening here. Let's see what else.
Our group chat?
Yeah. And then Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin and the KO show with Steve Austin, which I think will turn into a match. That's a pretty strong night 1, right? That's a pretty strong night 1. So where's the... Here we go. Okay. Winner take all championship unification match. So he will become the unified, not the undisputed. You will become the unified WWE World Heavyweight Champion, or whatever they're going to champion, unified WWE champion. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Do you want Brock to win this, or you want Roman to win this?
I'm cool with either one. I kind of want Roman to win, to be honest.
You know what I would love to do? Like, we watch WrestleMania together.
Yeah.
But not on the air. And we could just live tweet and shit.
Classic?
A classic one.
You know what I think would be more classic?
What?
We do that.
Yeah.
But we resurrect the Google chat.
Oh, where people are just hanging out with us?
Everybody's hanging out, and you could see everybody's face.
You know what?
That was a lot of fun.
But we would have to do it in the living room.
Yeah.
So like on laptops and stuff.
We'll set up one camera, really tight shot. You sitting on my lap. So that way we get both our heads in the frame.
Like a little
and then we'll
a ventriloquist act.
Yeah. And then we'll switch.
You'll drink the water and I'll sing. Yeah.
I'll drink the water and then you spit out the water.
Perfect.
Those were fun. Those were a lot of fun because we used to do that again. Like we used to do this years ago.
Yeah, but you know what ruined it? That dude with his dingling that came out with the nipple clamps. You remember that guy?
Yeah.
There was a guy that was spamming our thing, and he was wearing a like a diaper. With nipple clamps.
I'm not defending him, but
he was having a time of his life.
He was having the time. He was a fan. And
was he?
Yeah, he was a fan, and he was in a lot of those. And then one night, he was just like, you know what? I'm going to go for it.
And that
was it. All right, whatever.
I'm amongst friends. I could do it. So he kind of ruined the whole thing. So maybe we'll do that. That's not a bad idea. Night 2, Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory with Vince McMahon somewhere involved in there. I think this is going to turn into something. All right, let's A lot of people are very upset over this. I think it's turning into something. Don't worry about it. Sami Zayn, Johnny Knoxville. Great. Who cares?
I care.
You care. I know you do.
It's going to be fun.
AJ and Edge. Dude, Edge's new gimmick from Raw. He is a deranged lion.
Yeah, he looks nuts.
He looks nuts.
I do like how he came out in a Monomorph shirt. It was one of my favorite bands.
He looks insane. I love it. I'm into this. WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, Carmella and Zelina Vega defend against Sasha Banks and Naomi and Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. I like the Rhea and Liv tag team. I think they very well complement each other.
Yes, very much.
NXT Roadblock. You want to read this?
NXT Roadblock, the Dusty Women's Tag Team Classic Semifinals. Women's Dusty Rose Tag Team Classic Semifinals. Wendy Chu and Dakota Kai beat Cora Jade and Raquel Gonzalez to advance to the finals, I'm assuming. Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray defeat Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter to advance to the women's final as well. Grayson Waller beat LA Knight in a last man standing match. I think LA Knight's going to move up to the main roster soon because over the last few weeks, this guy has been getting so muscular and like ripped.
Who's this?
LA Knight.
Yeah. Well, he's getting called up for sure soon, right?
And in the shocker of the night, honestly, I didn't really see this coming. In the shocker of the night, Dolph Ziggler beat Tommaso Ciampa and Bron Breakker in a triple threat match to win. He became the new NXT champion. Does this mean Bron Breakker is getting called up? Is Ciampa already called up? Is what's happening? Is Ziggler? Are we doing NXT title at WrestleMania? Like, what's the deal?
I think this is to put the title back on Breakker.
Okay.
Very strange, considering, like, I understand their logic, but considering the fact that they removed like everybody from NXT because they were older, right? And now you brought Dolph Ziggler in,
who's the oldest,
who's 41 years old, to beat, and he pinned Tommaso Ciampa, right? He didn't pin Braun.
Yeah.
Braun was like eating shit on the outside or something.
Great match though.
It was a very good match, and this was Braun's first triple threat. He looked great. Everybody looked good. So Dolph Ziggler's now the NXT champion. So this title has become something it never was.
Right.
It is now transcended into everything people thought would happen with NXT years ago. That Vince would get bored and he would send guys down there and they would win the title. Dude, it's not NXT. It's not the same NXT anymore. This is a very different show. And I think if you look at it that way, you're going to be fine with it. If you consider this the same old NXT that you loved, you're going to be very disappointed.
This actually reminds me of if you follow my timeline here, this reminds me of pre-Hideo Itami NXT, where your main event would be Sammy versus
Tyson Kidd,
Sammy versus Claudio.
Yeah.
Pac versus whoever from the main roster, right? Where the guys from the main roster would get sent down to NXT, like the burgeoning NXT, like that transition from FCW to NXT, right?
Yeah.
This kind of reminds me of that. I honestly I like NXT 2.0.
It's not bad. Listen, 600 and something thousand people watched it on Tuesday. So, I mean, that's, I keep saying, like, that's not a bad number they're getting on the show, considering it's a whole new product. We'll see what happens. It is what it is. What are you going to do? AEW Revolution major highlights, Rich. First of all, what did you think of the pay-per-view? I know it was long. I ended up rewatching it.
Yeah.
Yes, on Monday and Tuesday. I finished up everything again. I thought it was a fantastic show. It was a little too long, but I always feel that way when a show goes over, 3.5, 4 hours. The show was almost 5 hours, 4 hours and 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it top to bottom. I enjoyed watching it with you and our friend Kyle. I think getting Wendy's and Miller Lights was a mistake. I think all of us got effed up the next day from all the sodium. I had to work that off over the last Monday and Tuesday. And you remember you were texting me like, dude, we made a mistake.
Yeah.
But I did watch it again. Loved it. Top to bottom. Thought it was a great show. Couldn't decide what my favorite moment was.
Yeah. What was it? What are you down to?
It's between the Punk match.
Yeah.
And the Mox Bryan Danielson match which I thought stole the show. That was my
very
favorite
good
match. And Regal showing up and both of them being like, "Oh shit, Dad's here."
So I was doing the show with Garrett on Tuesday, and he was like, "What was your favorite match?" And I was like, I was trying to go down the list. I'm like, "Oh shit, I forgot." That Danielson and Mox match was fantastic. The Punk match was great too, but the Regal ending sold it to me. It made it even better, where
So
he's
good.
like, his two shithead kids won't stop fighting at the playground, and he had to slap them and take them home. Fantastic way to do it. Adam Page retained the title over Adam Cole. What did you think of the match? I was so exhausted for this when I watched it. I think it didn't do it justice.
I thought the match was great, to be honest with you. I liked Adam Cole's Halo ring gear.
I didn't care for it.
I do think Hangman's colorful ring gear is teasing a reunion with the Bucks.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he was just wearing a colorful outfit.
Yeah. You had CM Punk beating MJF in a dog collar match. Wardlow's face turn was
Very well done.
very well done. Slip the ring to Punk. Great match. I love the moment in the match where Punk tells MJF to eat shit.
Eat shit.
He's like, "Eat shit, dude." Moxley beat Bryan Danielson. Great match. I like this new tag team. As we're gonna go into Dynamite and talk about that more. Britt Baker retained the AEW Women's title over Thunder Rosa. Do you think Thunder Rosa is taking it in San Antonio next week?
Yeah, I would imagine. Like, I would say this was a mistake if they weren't in San Antonio. You know? I think if they weren't booked in San Antonio, they would have probably. And it's the 1 year anniversary of their like blood and guts match. What is it, a lights out match, right?
Lights out match, yeah.
Yeah.
Jade Cargill retained over Tay Conti, and Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus retained over Red Dragon and the Young Bucks. That was a fun match.
It was a fun match too.
I think, there was a lot going on.
And then we had the pre-show matches, which I don't have here.
The pre-show matches. We had the return of Penta Oscuro,
Yeah.
which was awesome. And Alex Abrahante is coming out with the shovel. Very, very fun stuff.
Sting did a crazy spot off the balcony.
Sting did a ridiculous spot at 62 years old. He did the Spike Dudley / New Jack spot.
Yeah.
Which was pretty fantastic, man. I sent you guys the fan footage of that. Did you see it? It was shot
it was great.
Oh, it was nuts. I think I may be wrong about the Penta thing. I feel like he came out as that on Dynamite, not at the pay-per-view.
Got it.
I may have been wrong about that.
Who?
Penta. Because I missed a couple of things.
Well, he did come out on Dynamite like that, but I think
Okay.
he was in the whole gear on the show also.
Did you enjoy Dynamite last night?
Yes, very much so. It was a good show. What'd you think?
I really enjoyed it. I thought, again, they put on a really good wrestling show. It makes me happy to watch it. It's very it gives me like nostalgia vibes, and it makes me excited for like new stuff that's going to come out in the future. The show started with Jericho addressing Eddie Kingston, and Jericho, again, didn't really see this coming.
You didn't.
I didn't, because I feel like with the thing with AEW is they love long-term storytelling, and they'll tease you and tease you and tease you a little longer, So I expected this to go on a little bit, at least another couple of weeks. Jericho turned complete heel on Eddie Kingston and Santana and Ortiz. Teamed up with 2.0. Danny, are you doing your taxes right now?
I'm doing my tax.
Are you doing your taxes, or you're online gambling right now? Are you on DraftKings?
I'm on DraftKings right now. They're our official sponsor of the show.
So Jericho teams with 2.0.
What did you think of the name?
The Jericho Appreciation Society.
Yeah.
I think they should just call themselves Inner Circle 2.0, because he's teaming with 2.0.
They could have done that.
That's it.
The Jericho Appreciation Society. And what did he say at the end? He goes, and that's entertainment. So now he's a sports entertainer.
I do like
That's his
that.
gimmick.
I did like that. He looked great, dude.
He does look great. He looks really, really good.
AEW World Championship, Hangman versus Dante Martin. Fun match. Adam Page cut like a nice promo saying like,
Six-man.
He'll welcome. Adam Cole came out. They're going to do the 6-man. Who do you think are going to be Paige's dudes?
I really don't want him to do the Dark Order.
In the promo he cut yesterday, it's not going to be the Dark Order. He alluded to Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
I mean, I guess they could do that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The Bucks, right? You want the Bucks.
I don't know who I want on his side. I think a lot of this is going to lead into a Kenny thing eventually, because we're in March already. He hasn't been. He did that interview with Dave where he said he's still recovering, but I think by April we'll see him. We're definitely going to see him for that pay-per-view,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I would imagine that he would be on that pay-per-view. So we'll see what happens there. I don't know who he'll pick. I guess Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy would be good.
Yeah, you kind of want something a little bigger, though, right?
You kind of do want something a little bigger.
They're teasing like the disillusion of the Elite, Adam Cole doing his own things, the Bucks saying, "Hey, don't use us against Hangman," basically.
Yeah,
we still love the guy. I think it's going to go back. Also, Hangman dropped the drunk gimmick a while ago too, which I think is interesting.
He did. He's a world champion now. He can't be a drunk.
Good work. Well, I mean, Steve Austin.
Oh, hell. Well, it's his gimmick. You can't do it. Him and Sandman own it.
That's true. Bryan Danielson and John Moxley with William Regal beat the Workhorsemen, JD Drake and Anthony Henry.
Great promo,
great match. William Regal took so much excellent time, and he can work the crowd like a fiddle. After all these years, it's ridiculous.
I got to tell you, Anthony Henry looked good in that ring.
Yes.
He looked very good.
Yes. Big time.
I think he's going to go somewhere. So Regal's promo went a little long.
Yeah.
And apparently they were trying to get him to stop, but he ended up he just kept going. You know what? Good for him. He cut a great Lord Regal promo.
Absolutely.
He was very on, and you could tell that he was enjoying it. When's the last time he was able to cut a promo like that? But he told a great story that 20 years ago, everybody compared himself to Danielson. There's a whole group of independent guys that would love the indies, that revitalized, that really made William Regal into a very well appreciated working wrestler.
Absolutely.
He's like, and he said something great. He said, "You are everything I could never be because of my personal issues." And then he looked at Mox and he's like, "Hey, you're an effing lunatic, like me." And I guess he was like, "I'm gonna keep you straight," right? It wasn't that his whole thing. It was an interesting promo. Like, he was more talking about how Danielson's the man and how Moxley and him have more in common because of their demons.
Right. It was great, man. His last line saying you better get stepped up, you better step up or get stepped on.
You loved it.
That was awesome.
Great job. Very good job.
I want to see them take on every single tag team. But see, that's the thing. All right. So in the lore of professional wrestling, right? Does this tag team get into the mix with the other tag teams, or are they so main event that the tag title is below these guys?
I don't know. See, that's what I was thinking too. Do they start challenging for the tag title if they're a tag team? And do you put the title on them? Like that. Right. And who do they beat? Do they beat Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus?
But that's the thing. They're already set up to beat every single tag team because they're built as the most brutal, well-functioning wrestling tag team that they have.
Yeah.
Even more so than FTR.
I thought, honestly, they would have done this with Punk and Danielson.
Same here.
That's where I thought they were going to go with this.
I like this, though.
Listen, I don't mind it. I'm curious what it leads to.
Do you think they had a plan for the Regal thing all along, or was it just
I think that
serendipity?
I think it was serendipity. Yeah.
That's interesting. You also had Pac defeating Wheeler Yuta. You have the AHFO emergency board meeting. Let me tell you something. I'm glad that whole thing is over.
Are you?
Yeah.
You weren't a fan of it?
I was not a fan of the AHFO.
No,
I'm not
stupid.
a fan of Big Money Matt Hardy at all.
Yeah, I was not a fan of it. So Hardy is getting the crap kicked out of him. Darby and Sting show up. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Why was that funny?
Because of the Jeff Hardy thing. But yeah.
Oh, so Darby and Sting come to the rescue. And all of a sudden, we hear the original Hardy's theme. And Jeff Hardy's making a save for his brother. But guess what? He stops to do his stupid thing.
Really quick, though.
Really quick. He went, the music hits, he goes out, he does, and it just keeps running.
He does it. He does 2 really quick pelvic thrusts, and he's like, I better get in the ring. Listen, the guy looks like he's having fun. Great. I hope he's clean. I hope he's healthy. That was a genuine moment. Darby looked at him. Darby looked at Sting. And then Darby looked at Jeff Hardy as if to say to Jeff Hardy, "Wait, are you my dad?" I thought this guy was my dad the whole time.
Who's my dad?
Are
Who's
you
my dad?
And then Jeff Hardy's like, "No, he's my dad." But that was kind of a cool moment where it was almost like a reconciliation between Jeff Hardy and Sting, I guess, for the camera, where he gave him the thank you very much, thank you for wanting to work with me again kind of thing after their whole TNA debacle. You know,
I think they made up after that.
Yeah, probably.
So Jeff Hardy now, Hardy Boys reunited with their theme, and a lot of people were shocked. That audience was shocked.
Yes,
that theme played. So WWE doesn't own the rights to that song. It's somebody else that came up with the song, and WWE was licensing it. That's why in the 90s you would hear this song on random. WCW used it at one point for a commercial, like for an ad.
Yeah,
it was like a sponsored ad they used it for. We've seen it in a bunch of commercials. MTV would use it on their stupid shows, like those dating shows.
Yeah.
What was that bad one? The really bad one. Early 2000s MTV dating show.
The one on the boat?
Was it on a boat? I don't know. Terrible.
I forgot what that was called. I knew somebody who worked on that show.
Very cool that they grabbed it. And I believe, I got to confirm this, but I think it was like he secured the rights for like a library pack of songs.
Yeah. And
other WWE songs are on there also that were used. So we'll see who else is used. But Jeff Hardy now is in AEW. What do you think?
I love it. Let's go back to the music for a second.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the story with the original NWO theme where they were like, there was just like a disc full of stuff they could use, and it was like Wrestler Mix #3, and it was like the NWO theme, and they used it. I think
it was something like that. It was
that Hardy Boys theme, and also, you know whose theme would show up all over the place on commercials in the late 90s? Bob Holly.
Yes, but I think Crash or Bob's is also on there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's part of the same catalog. One of the Hollies.
Would you freak out if Bob Holly showed up?
He big jacked up Bob Holly.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. I think the NWO one was, they got sued for it at one point, right? Because
really?
it's a medley of Jimi Hendrix songs. It's riffs.
Okay.
It's multiple riffs from multiple Jimi Hendrix songs. I went down the rabbit hole. I actually had it all, and I found the down na. That one is I forgot which song it was.
Well, Hogan used Voodoo Child for a while.
He did. That was a weird theme to come out to, right?
It's such a weird theme, and I love it. And it used to make me giggle so much where he'd come out and he's like, I'm standing next to a mountain, and I do the chop,
and he does the chop
it down.
It's really weird on the WWE network because it's dubbed over with either this very generic one or the Hogan theme.
Yeah,
and him coming out doing the chop to the Hogan theme to I'm a real American does not work.
It's bizarre.
Now I think they just put the NWO theme on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How do you like Jeff Hardy coming back? You a big fan of Jeff Hardy?
All right, let's see what happens. Obviously, him and Punk would be a fantastic match.
You think they're gonna go there? You think they're gonna? Him versus Sting, and then him versus Punk to make up for all that weird shit.
Didn't Punk allude to that?
He did
in the promo. He said something about he drove somebody out of the company.
Mm-hmm.
He forced like an alcoholic to drink. Wasn't that something?
I forced a wrestler with substance abuse issues out of the company because I brought them up on national television.
Yeah,
I think
that was a Jeff reference, right?
Yes, that was definitely a Jeff reference. Because Jeff was immediately shit canned after that, right?
That was the last, and then he went to TNA.
And he cut that weird promo at a diner on CM Punk.
Oh, yeah, when he was all like...
he was loosey-goosey.
Pizzelled up?
Yeah. Nah, he just had too many sugary drinks.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
That's how I get, too.
FTR fired Tully Blanchard in a backstage interview.
By the way, I just want to say I'm glad Jeff is looking good.
Yes.
I'm glad he's with his brother. I think it's really awesome.
Healthy and happy.
That's what I want.
So that kind of ties into the next thing. FTR, they're cutting a promo about family. And Tully Blanchard said, hey, this isn't about family. It's about championships. And then they're like, no, it's about family. And they fire him. And they're like, you're not part of the family. I feel like AEW is doing a good job of creating like a big family vibe with a lot of their factions.
So what does Tully do now?
I think he goes away for a while. Maybe he manages somebody else.
I like Tully on TV, man. I love that the older guys are being utilized as not idiots. You know what I mean? Like AEW doesn't treat them like fools.
Yes. You
don't have $1 Million Man coming out and doing the tutti frutti. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what they would do. Like Dusty Rhodes, one of the greatest legends in all of the business. He's out there just shaking his pelvis and dancing, and then just being a lunatic and a deranged old man.
If Tully sticks around, who would you stick him with?
Honestly, Jade Cargill.
Ooh, I like that. Get rid of what's his name? Money Mark Sterling.
I could see him going with that. What else?
We got there was a Wardlow promo. Honestly, like not bad. You don't really see Wardlow on the mic very much, but like he cut a pretty good promo. Done with MJF. He wants to do the right thing. And I guess he's working for himself now in hopes of another contract, trying to go for that TNT title, he put everybody on notice, which
he did.
Great. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus beat the Acclaimed. That was a great match. Thunder Rosa beat Layla Hirsch. They announced a cage match for next week in Thunder Rosa's hometown in San Antonio. This is where Thunder Rosa wins that belt, right? Are you texting Thunder Rosa?
I am texting Thunder Rosa. No,
you gonna win that belt?
Thunder Rosa has to win it here, and I hope she does.
Yeah,
you know, she's really good. I'm looking forward to it.
And your main event, Scorpio Sky beat Sammy Guevara to win the TNT Championship.
A lot of people didn't expect that.
I didn't expect it. A lot of people didn't expect it. Paige Van Zant made her presence known by attacking Tay Conti.
And the best part, JR screams, "That Jezebel!"
Oh, so ridiculous.
What a great old school wrestling reference, right?
Yes.
That Jezebel.
Paige Van Zant signs her AEW contract on Tay's prone butt.
Yes, on Tay Conti's butt. So we got that.
Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Martinez tomorrow night on Rampage. Darby Allin versus Mark Quinn. Keith Lee versus QT Marshall. Swerve Strickland versus Tony Nese in the premiere of Swerve's Wrestling. Swerve's Wrestling his first match on Rampage.
Yes,
how cool
against Tony Nese. I think they went like 13 minutes, and I heard it was a fantastic match. They both look great.
Great. Next week, is it next week? Next week, yeah. St. Patrick's Day Slam.
Patty's Day is a Thursday, right?
It's a Wednesday.
Next week?
No, it's a Thursday. Sorry.
Oh.
17th or 16th?
17th. Yeah, it's a Thursday.
I don't really do anything on St. Patty's Day. I try to avoid it.
Okay.
I'll tell you why I try to avoid it.
Why?
I live close to the railroad, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
you see it.
So I see all these dudes covered in green goop at like 7 in the morning, like making their way to the train. Just like they're already effed up. They're all dressed like leprechauns.
Everybody just has corned beef and cabbage in their hands.
They're just smashing corned beef and cabbage sandwiches into their face and walking past my apartment window. And I'm like, I'm staying home today.
So
I never go out on St. Patty's Day.
I go to Bell. I go to Bell all the time.
Okay.
Because I gotta have the corned beef and cabbage. So I don't know, not so much your side, but like my side is very Irish, my neighborhood.
No, definitely not.
Like this is I live in a very Irish-Italian neighborhood. Working class Irish-Italian neighborhood. But like my block is all Irish. Like I'm on the Irish side of things here.
You're on the Irish side.
We were the first like non-Irish on the block.
That explains the potato.
That explains the potato, and that explains the love for Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
So I love going out and getting the corned beef and cabbage, and they just hand them out. We get the bagpipers. I take the kids out because the kids like the bagpipes. So I do the whole thing.
Nah, it gets gross by me. It's not. I don't live in the Irish part of town.
Man, early. You got to do it early. You do not go out after 2:00.
That's a good. You know what? Maybe I'll come and join you.
Okay.
Maybe
cool.
after the show next week.
Let's do something after the show.
Let's get our Irish on next week.
Yeah, let's do it. Going to the card. What do we have on this card?
Sorry, Brandon Edwards with $20.
We're just having fun.
I demand you both wear green wrestling fits next week. You can fight over who will be the Hurricane.
I'll find my shillelagh somewhere.
You know what drives me nuts about those dudes who just dress all in green?
What?
They don't even go like traditional Irish. It's just a lot of green man. Like the bodysuit?
A lot of green man. Yeah, a lot of green man.
Ridiculous. All right. What's next up here?
TNT Championship, Sammy Guevara or Scorpio Sky versus Wardlow. Maybe you put the title on Wardlow.
Oh, I'd love that.
Maybe it's a quick one for Scorpio Sky. Hangman Page, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus versus Adam Page, Red Dragon. Adam Page and Red Dragon. There you go. I don't really care about the 2K DLC pack as much.
It's very distracting.
I know Jonathan wants me to talk about this. So I'm going to do it for you, Jonathan.
Yeah.
April 26th, Yokozuna, Umaga, Rikishi, Omos, and Casey Catanzaro.
Casey Kasem.
It's Casey Kasem. Imagine. Can you imagine?
What am I doing here? I can't do it with Casey Kasem.
I got to hear it. I got to hear it to do it. There's a dedication for a dog somewhere that he's doing, right? Casey Kasem.
He died like 10 years ago. Right?
I know. May 17th, you got Cactus Jack, Boogeyman, Vader, Dragunov, and Indy Hartwell. You got June 7th, you got Hurricane, Stacy Keibler, A-Kid, Wesley, Nash Carter. Nash Carter is such a wrestling name. It's unbelievable.
Absolutely.
June 28th, you got Doink the Clown, Ronda Rousey, British Bulldog, Mr. T, Dewdrop,
fool.
and Rick Boogs. And July 19th, RVD, Logan Paul, Machine Gun Kelly, LA Knight, Zia Lee, Commander Aziz, and Saray.
It would be fun if when you get the Mr. T DLC that it's just like a one-person campaign where you're Mr. T. Where like you just show up, you're Mr. T from 1984, but you show up in 2022. Okay,
I'm into that.
What am I doing here?
Fool? All right, you want to do Q&As? What do you want to do, Rich?
Let's
tell me.
Do Q&As and we'll tell some jokes.
Yeah, I'll tell you a joke.
And then we'll get out of here.
All right,
guys,
let's do that.
Guys, if you want to super chat us, your question will be answered first. You can super chat us any amount. If you want to super chat us and help us fund our Vegas vacation, the Matmen go to Vegas, you can super chat us any amount with the hashtag Viva Las Vegas. And also, if you subscribe to our channels and our social feeds, you will get special updates on how you can help us get to Vegas and what you will get for helping us get to Vegas.
Yes.
Possible calendar.
Maybe the Matt Babes calendar.
Maybe Hardy Boys cosplay between a couple of us, which I think would be a lot of fun. Who would you be, Jeff or Matt?
I'd be Matt.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll paint. Would you paint my face?
I paint your face.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely.
Don't paint my face like you would paint MG Geek's face.
No. Very different type of painting face.
All right, guys. Let's see what we got here. Here is a super chat from James Mordor. Enjoy Vegas, fellas. $9.99. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Don't forget to pack the Jeff Hardy face paint. There you go. Who do you see teaming up with Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful to face Jericho's new faction? Will this feud culminate with blood and guts?
Homicide, dude.
Oh,
why not bring Homicide back?
Yeah. I got two guys, which are oddball picks. Homicide, Nick Gage.
No, I don't want Nick Gage.
Why not?
I don't know. He scares me, man. Yeah, dude, let me see.
Pizza slice.
This is my Nick Gage.
He works at a pizzeria, that's why.
That's why. Listen, he has the fastest hands in the business.
Maron, this kid keeps taking the pizza slices. What is he doing with them?
Is that the owner?
Yeah, that's the owner of the pizza place.
Mario, he's a wrestler.
What does that mean? What, like Greco-Roman wrestler?
Love it.
Like the Coliseum.
Like the Coliseum.
This is from Kayfabe Kermack. $5. Thanks, dude. What's up, my mad babies? This AEW roster is stacked now. A lot of guys are lost in the shuffle. What do they do to get more guys TV time? Hashtag Viva Las Vegas.
I think they're going. Listen, man, they got a big roster now. Look, I mean, it's a gigantic roster, and this is what happens. I think we had spoken. A lot of people have spoken about this. That the bigger the roster gets, the more people are going to get lost in the shuffle, and that's why that second show was necessary. But now that you have Ring of Honor in the mix here, you could do something a little bit different. And I keep saying, this is my opinion. I think that AEW Dark, or whichever one is Dark Elevation. Dark Elevation is filmed in the studio audience, right?
Yeah,
in Universal. Turn that into Ring of Honor. Make that Ring of Honor. It'll get you way more eyeballs being called Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
You present a lot of these guys that are Ring of Honor guys on there. Maybe you have Jay Lethal show up there. Maybe you have, Danielson. Maybe you have Punk show up sometimes.
Absolutely.
Why not? And you now have a competitive brand against NXT. And again, I don't think Dark Elevation does anything as far as improvement to AEW other than giving guys time in front of an audience. But as far as eyeballs go, I don't think it does. It serves a purpose that's large. But if you rebrand it as a Ring of Honor, and now maybe you know what? Maybe you do a Ring of Honor show, 2,500 people every now and then, once a quarter.
That would be fun.
3,000 people once a quarter. Why can't you do that?
That'd be a lot of fun with your special guests.
With your special guests, yeah. And these guys will love to work. All these. You think Danielson wouldn't go to do a Ring of Honor show? Of course he would.
Yeah, so would Punk, and probably if they sign Joe, why not? If they sign, listen. We may get this is an oddball. I might be reaching for the moon right now.
Yeah.
We might get the return of Kings of Wrestling.
Oh, we could, right? With Chris Hero and Claudio.
Yeah, that would be fun. Samoa Joe, that would be fun. Classic Dalton Castle showing up. The Briscoes.
They have to do a classic Ring of Honor show, right? They're gonna have to do. I'm not saying I know anything, but knowing how Tony thinks, and knowing how this company operates, how do you not do a Ring of Honor show in the Hammerstein Ballroom?
Exactly.
With Punk and Danielson and Joe and all these guys. Bring them all.
Like classic. Early aughts Ring of Honor. Now, my question for you is, we kind of glossed over this a little bit. I believe the Briscoes are defending their Ring of Honor titles against the Good Brothers at some point on an Impact show soon.
Yeah. So, again, there's that Impact tie-in also, which is fascinating.
And they're doing Noah and New Japan, too, on the next Impact show.
Are they?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
I want to talk to Lance.
Yeah.
You know what? We should get Lance on here.
I would love that.
He just bullies me about online. I love it.
It does. Is he
another ECW wrestler yelling at me. You know who didn't yell at me? Who didn't? RVD.
He was the best.
He was such a sweet man.
He was the best.
Wonderful man.
You know what my favorite part about hanging out with RVD was?
What?
He did not want to stop hanging out with us.
He did not want to stop hanging. He wanted to just keep it. He's like, "What are you guys doing? You going home?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I want to hang." He's like, he was the coolest guy.
He really was.
You know what? It makes me happy when you meet someone, because like I had an RVD poster on my wall when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know? And like you meet them and you're like, oh no, this guy is not just like a nice guy. He's cool as shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like really chill, really cool. Somebody took a photo of me and him and never sent it to me.
Was it me?
I don't know if it's you or Jonathan, but I got a picture of just me and him and I'm doing the whole thing. I would love that photo if you guys could find it.
Let's see. We got $1.99 from our buddy Chris Farrell.
Chris.
Miro got a new deal. Any news on his return?
I think Lana needs to come back. I think he needs to be paired with CJ. I think that would be... interesting she's not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what? Again, this goes back to that question. Does the purchase of Ring of Honor mean that a lot of these guys that Tony Khan has signed are finally going to get some kind of airtime? You know, like, is the basket getting too full with these people?
Basket getting too... That's a great way to put it. I think the basket is very full right now.
It's very, very full.
Yeah.
Because now, if you go by, let's say, like the IWC, I hate that term.
Yuck.
Yeah. If you go by that yuck, it's most folks complaining about their favorite wrestlers not getting airtime and Tony Khan hiring these people and them going nowhere. I think even a lot of older wrestling critics are saying like, well, what's going to happen with so-and-so? Because look at what they did with Christian. He's not really doing much. I
don't think Christian wants to do more.
Yeah.
I think Christian is happy with what he's doing. Okay, so here we go, right? Joe, Claudio, I guess they're the two, right? That people are talking about right now.
For them to
forget about Bray, forget about that, right? Like, so now you add Joe to the mix. You add Claudio. Okay, so look at your roster. Look at how stacked your roster is.
Yeah. What
do you do now? And where do you place these guys? Because they have a bizarre problem, which is a rarity for a company where you have now acquired top tier talent.
Right.
And I'm gonna go Danielson, Punk, right? That changed the whole presentation of your product.
It really did.
Because now you have solidified world champions with a big following and you're top tier. And unfortunately, whatever you do, they will always take precedence. And I think we saw that with this world title match on this pay-per-view.
Absolutely.
Where unfortunately for Hangman and Adam Cole, they took, Moxley and Danielson and MJF and Punk took precedence over your world title. And that will continue happening. That will continue happening in this company unless you now solidify as your world title position where these guys are now fighting for the world title, because we haven't seen that aggressively. Punk hasn't challenged. We had that match with Danielson, but it was it wasn't a major thing, that they did. He's going to be in and out of this, but what do you do when Joe comes in?
What do you do when Kenny comes back?
What do you do? Okay, so fine. Now you're going to get Kenny. Kenny's coming back. You got Mox. You got Kenny, Mox, Hangman, Punk,
Danielson.
Danielson, and then you add a couple more. Like your top tier is like 6, 7, 8 people,
which is awesome. That's very like Attitude Era.
Very Attitude Era, very much so. But unfortunately, what happens to guys like Dante Martin?
Right.
What happens to the Acclaimed? What happens to 2.0 now? They're doing a good job at like using Jericho in that role, but what's going to happen to these guys? Darby Allin, great example, right? Darby's with Sting,
yeah, but
that's in a weird way to protect Darby from getting lost.
It's very interesting. Like we could talk about this for a little bit, and that I wouldn't mind.
I got some time, so you want to go into it?
It's a fascinating scope of wrestling that you can look at right now, right? So within AEW, you have all this amazing talent, all these factions, all these people that you want to see on TV every week, right? It's very cyclical. I think Tony Khan does a good job of cyclical booking where, Sammy will main event this week. They're very hot on Sammy, clearly.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, look at him. How do you, he's a handsome boy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you, how do you don't get people that look like that?
I think your super main eventers, like your CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, and I'll throw Moxley in there. Even Jeff Hardy.
Oh yeah, I forgot Hardy's in there too now.
You want to give those guys as much TV time as possible, and they are that triple threat or double threat with wrestling. As far as like Punk and Danielson can cut promos like nobody's business, and they can work like nobody else. Same thing with Mox, same thing with MJF, right? Adam Cole too. You're gonna want to put these guys on TV as opposed to guys who don't really work the mic as much, But again, you have so much promo time on AEW combined with a lot of wrestling that a lot of these guys may be lost in the shuffle. Look at a Joey Janela.
Yeah.
Brian Cage.
Yeah.
Cage
is another one. Yeah.
Penta. Like I honestly thought Penta would have had that world title by now.
I think he would have been in that. I think if we're looking at AEW from its start.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Penta, Cage, Omega, Hangman, that was your top. Cody,
right?
Jericho, that was your top.
When was the last time you saw Sonny Kiss on Dynamite?
That's the thing, right? What happens now? So I think that they're fine. I don't think they're a TNA, but you look at this roster and you're like, man, it's a lot of top guys. TNA in 2000, what was it? 2011, 2012. That roster was stacked.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's a bad comparison, but I'm talking about pure talent goes.
Yes.
They were packed with great talent on that roster that people got lost in the shuffle. I don't think that'll happen to this extent, but people are going to get lost in the shuffle. It's just going to happen.
So do you think the Ring of Honor thing will allow them to have a little more leeway where like maybe there's a shuffle, right? Where you send a lot of these guys who aren't being utilized on TV that once were, throw them in there?
I would think so, but then you gotta be careful with
like a Lee Moriarty.
Lee Moriarty would be a great Rampage. If Rampage was 2 hours,
yeah,
which I think now they may need to.
I think they need to pull the trigger on.
But 10 to midnight is not the time.
9 to 11.
You're going up against Smackdown. You're gonna suffer heavy. You don't want to go against them. It's a no-win situation, other than you change the day. I know that they don't want to go against football, but doing it on a Thursday. If Dynamite was on a Tuesday, this would be a very different discussion.
What about a Saturday night Rampage?
I would love a Saturday night Rampage.
7 to 9?
7
Saturday
to 9.
night?
8 to 10.
5 to 7. Maybe a little too early.
Too early. But 8 to 9, 8 to 10, 7 to 9, not bad. Okay, cool. I could get behind it.
Fun.
I can't believe I'm asking for another hour of wrestling.
But that's good because that's how much you want to see this stuff, right? You want to see this stuff play out.
I want the guys. I want a lot of these younger guys. I know we took some time here with this one, but I want the younger guys to shine also, and I don't want the Lee Moriartys to kind of get lost, in the shuffle of acquiring guys like Joe. I'm not saying Joe's going, but I would hope to see Joe there.
I agree with you 100%. Let's take the next caller. Let's take the next
caller. Call you on the air.
Next super chat. Our buddy Brandon Edwards, another $20. Thanks, bud. Will Seth freaking Rollins make the Mania card?
Yes, he will be on the Mania card.
All right. You heard it here first.
He will be there. Brandon, thank you very much.
We got another super chat from Kyle Masters, Elite POV. Any news on the Owen, #Viva Las Vegas?
The Owen tournament? Isn't that starting at the UBS Arena in May?
I'm not 100% on that.
Whatever that May 11th, May 3rd, whatever that show is. I thought that's when it's starting. I could be wrong. Maybe it's a false memory. I set these false memories in my head sometimes that I think Dave has implanted me. He chipped me when I saw him. Do you know that?
What? He shoulder checked you?
He chipped me.
What do you mean?
He planted a chip in the back of my head.
He's
like, oh, come here, and he's like, oh, I like it when you got short hair, and he like ruffled my head, and he just injected a chip in my head.
I thought he did it with a blow dart.
A blow dart? Yeah, like, Chili's. Yeah, he got me right in there.
You're like, something just hit my cheek.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm going to punch this up while I read this question because I think we should definitely talk about it.
All right.
This is from the Shadow Ranger. What do you think of the Multiverse of Matches card from Impact?
I think it's cool. I have yet to. I gotta dive deeper into Impact. I know it's really good. I'm so behind, but I'm into it. I'm into the concept.
So you're getting Chris Sabin versus Jay White.
Okay, cool.
Jay White. What do you do with Jay White? Again, that's another guy that should be main eventing everything.
Okay,
right?
So here's the situation, right?
Yeah.
If there was no Danielson and Punk, Jay White would be, I think, they would be way more aggressive about Jay White being presented in the top tier.
Knife pervert. Yeah,
I don't like the knife pervert thing.
I like it. I think it's funny.
It's weird.
He shows it's like, oh, I'm the knife pervert.
Does he have like just knives?
Yeah,
pocket knives?
Switchblade. I think every cool Bully Club guy needs a lot of abs and needs to open their jacket to show them. You also have Tomohiro Ishii versus Eddie Edwards.
Oh, that's a weird match. Cool. I'm
Great.
into it.
You have the Briscoes versus the Good Brothers, who are the Impact champions, and the Briscoes being the Ring of Honor champions. It's very interesting. Does Cody show up on this? No, you don't think so? You don't think the multiverse of madness includes Cody Rhodes?
No, I don't think so.
Let's see here. We got another super chat. This is from Dusty W. Consider this. Thanks to artificial intelligence, new Casey Kasem tributes will be released long after we're all dead.
Oh, that is crazy.
That is true.
You know what? That's very true.
We got a comment from our buddy Josh Coleman Jerk in the house. Jay White is a brown-haired Adam Cole. I disagree with that.
Don't they both have brown hair?
Yeah. Dirty blonde and brown.
Don't they both have brown hair? Jersh?
Is Jersh, are you coming through from WrestleMania?
Do you know what's his gimmick? America's oldest frat boy? What's his gimmick? Is that
it? It was America's oldest frat boy.
America's oldest frat boy.
Or Josh America's Coleman. Favorite frat boy.
America's favorite frat boy, Josh Coleman. He was in a fraternity. He told me he was in a fraternity.
Oh, yeah?
And sometimes they like have slumber parties. They stay at each other's houses for like months at a time.
That sounds,
I don't know if you know that.
That sounds very naughty. Let's see what else we got here. Multiverse of Madness. Bear with me, guys. I'm looking at the questions that are right in front of me. There we go. This is from that wrestling podcast. If Cody doesn't show up on Raw in Jacksonville, what would your plan be for Seth Rollins at Mania?
I think if you're going to debut him before Mania, this would be the time. Mm-hmm. They're in Jacksonville. What a great little, dig to do it. I mean, a lot of people are speculating that it's him and Seth at WrestleMania, which I think that's a great match.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what's changed with the deal. As of last Friday, I have not asked anybody about Cody. But last Friday, WWE told me that there was no change to the situation, but everything changed on Saturday, apparently. There's a change to the situation. They haven't signed him yet. It's not a done deal yet. I think when you're negotiating with camps rather than an individual, things take a lot longer when you get the lawyers and the agents and the managers and everybody else involved. It could just be one of those situations, or it could be a done deal and they're just teasing it.
Mm.
But what do you think? You think he's debuting next week?
I don't know. Something's up. Let's just say that. I think something's up.
Yeah.
This is a good follow-up to that, too, from Chris Farrell, $99 Super Chat. Thanks, dude. Anyone else surprised the Cody buzz has kind of died down?
I don't know. I don't think it's done. I think there's just no news. So, when there's no news. But I am shocked how it trumped the big Austin stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was talking about Austin. That was a big shocker to me. That Cody kind of solidified himself as a bigger deal going to WWE over Austin possibly coming back for a match.
I guess until Austin cut that promo on Tuesday.
But still, didn't get a lot of, oh my God, people losing their minds.
You think it's like a little too late?
I think it's not that it's a little too late. I think it's a little bit of, I don't really trust that you guys are going to do this the way that I want it done.
Do you think they should have pulled the trigger when it was supposed to be Austin Punk all those years ago?
That should have happened in 2013. What was it, 2013, 2012? It was for the game.
I think it was 2011.
It was for the video game. That's where this all started, right? It was that sit down.
They had a panel together.
Somebody knows, right? Was it 2012, 2013, or 2011? I think it was 2012 or 2013.
Got very contentious.
It did.
Quote unquote. I feel like there's a few matches that I wish the trigger got pulled on. Austin Goldberg, Austin Punk, Austin Hogan.
How old is Austin? 57?
Yeah, he's got to be up.
So
he's
a
almost 60,
48-year-old Steve Austin would have faced the CM Punk, right?
And you CM Punk are
2012.
I don't think CM Punk's in his prime yet.
Okay, 47-year-old Steve Austin. You know what? 47-year-old Steve Austin does not sound old by today's standards.
No.
When it comes to wrestling. I think at that point he was done. Because WWE had the whole like no old people thing, but now it doesn't matter.
Isn't it nuts that at one time Ric Flair was like the only older wrestler like
at 42 years
still
old?
Going?
42 years old,
yeah.
He won that title, and he was considered old.
Yeah, and also look at Edge, man. Edge is like 48.
Edge is like 48,
doing some gnarly stuff.
He's transformed into Lion Man.
I think he's an immortal Viking at this point. This is from BC Knight, I believe. This is a weekly question. Where is Roxy?
I have no idea. I don't know. I have no idea. I think she signed with WWE, right? I think I say that every week, and I don't follow up.
That was the last.
Where is Roxy? Was that the last question? All right, let's do this. Super chat us a question, and we'll read it while we wrap things up here.
Is the AEW roster? This is my question. Rich Stambolian, first time, long time.
Yeah.
Is this current AEW roster the strongest roster in wrestling history?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
In terms
I think it's way too early to tell because we don't know where this is going to lead to. I think if this leads to this like renaissance period, then yeah, I would agree with that. I think WWE in like 2016, 2017 probably had the best roster.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What doesn't make it? Think about it. All the guys we mentioned before. Kenny, Mox, Brian, Miro, Andrade, Malachi Black. Look at all like stars, right? I think arguably this could potentially be the greatest wrestling roster of all time.
I mean, it's a fantastic roster. But you compare it to what? Like you compare it to like WCW '97.
I always compare it to the classic Attitude Era main events of Mankind, Austin, Undertaker, Kane.
I don't think that was a great roster. See, I don't think that was a great roster. I think 2002 had a much better roster than... I think WWE 2002 roster was a fantastic roster. I think modern era, like 2016, 2017, WWE had a fantastic roster. WCW 97, 98 had a great roster. I think it's too early to tell for AEW because we got to see what they do with these guys.
Yeah.
Like sheer talent-wise, unbelievable amount of talent. I think NXT in 2017 arguably had one of the best rosters out there.
This is a good question too because like, there's so many people everywhere that you almost forget that they're there, Like we forgot Jay White was part of AEW.
To an extent.
And I think, there's definitely got to be more coming. Like what if they do get a Joe? What if they do get Bray Wyatt? What if they do sign some wacky ass deal with Japan where you see Okada show up and Ibushi show up and Kenny come back,
Apparently there's a ton more in the queue in questions.
Yeah, we were just kind of going through them like not addressing the ones that we may have answered.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is a good one from Connor Augenstein. Any word on Pete Dunne being called up?
Oh, I don't know what they're doing with Pete Dunne. He's another one, dude. Fantastic wrestler. Where the hell is he? What is he doing? It was a Triple H project. Triple H loved them.
If you were working for WWE right now, would you be deflated if you were on the roster?
Depends where I am on that roster. You know?
Main roster, Raw.
You know, where am I placed? My upper mid card?
You're with Akira Tozawa getting smooched on by...
I mean, I would be a little disappointed, but it depends on what my paycheck is. Am I getting,
Tamina.
how much money? Am I getting $750,000 a year to smooch,
That's true.
Yeah, that's a lot of money to be annoyed at. And you're on TV.
That is true.
I think what's happened is, and this is part of it, a lot of people are making really good money.
Yeah.
And they are not complaining because they're making really good money. So, at one point, and I'm not saying this is everybody, obviously, but, you sometimes deal with it. You're like, I'm on TV. I'm having fun. I do like 20 minutes of this shit. I go to the gym. My job is to work out. I'm traveling the world. I'm young. I'm in my, late 20s, early 30s. I'm making tons and tons of money. Am I really going to complain about my life right now?
Right.
I think that's what happens to a lot of people. Before, a different attitude because you had to be in the top to make money.
Right.
So you were way more aggressive about being in that spot.
Or that payment structure, right? Where, like, when Austin was on top, everybody was getting paid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you were on the low card and you were still getting some of that pay-per-view money. I think that's like a big difference now. Like, do you know if Tony Khan does that? Is there like a house that
that's a good question. I don't know how they do pay-per-view payouts. You know what? I should ask Dave that.
Do you get, because like I used to love those stories of like, let's say like Jericho, for example. I think
getting pissed that his world title check was 50,000 less than so and so.
Right.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that where it's like, well, the gate, we made this at the gate. I should be making this for my match, which is arguably the best match of the night.
Yeah.
Are these guys getting bonuses old school style? Like, is Tony Khan giving them the extras, or are the extras already kind of like laid in where it's like you can go do indie dates, you can do this, and FTR is booking indie dates.
FTR is booking indie dates. A lot of these guys are booking indie dates. I think some of it also. By the way, the buy rate for the show, I think they're going to settle around 140 to 160,000.
Okay.
Right now, the online stream orders were 110,000.
Wow.
This is not including cable and satellite, but I think most people obviously ordered on streaming.
Yeah. Listen, if you have a smart TV and you can shoot your stream from your computer to your TV, it's the best thing on the planet.
Or just get it on the app, like how I do it.
My TV does not have the BR Live app.
It doesn't?
No.
You don't have a Fire Stick?
I have an LG Smart TV.
Oh, you don't use the Fire Stick?
No.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why. All right.
Yeah.
This is a good question. You want to wrap it up after this one?
Yeah, let's do it.
What is the most underrated theme song in wrestling? This is from BC Knight.
Oh, of all time?
Most underrated theme song in wrestling.
Big Boss Man's late, not the original one, the second one. Oh, got it. Dan Severn.
Wow, what was Dan Severn?
Dan Severn's theme. That's the most underrated song. Theme song of all time.
I'm gonna go the Billy Gunn Ass Man theme.
Great theme.
That's such a great theme.
I don't think it's underrated. I think it's very well appreciated.
I do think people kind of like throw that one out the window. We're like, it's not serious. And also the WCW Cactus Jack theme, Mr. Bang Bang.
I don't remember that.
Great theme. It had lyrics. All the lyrics were just about Cactus Jack. Fantastic. Great, guys. Go look that up. Mr. Bang Bang, Cactus Jack WCW.
I got another
theme.
one.
Yeah.
A lot of the WCW ripoffs. Lionheart Chris Jericho, his first one was great. I love that one. A lot of the Nirvana ripoff.
Like for DDP.
Chris Kanyon, near the end of WCW, had a great cover of, God, what was the song? Oh, man.
In WCW.
Yeah. I forgot his last WCW theme. When he was doing the Who Better Than Canyon gimmick. Like the last show, one of the last shows, he had a new theme and it was fantastic. I liked some of those wonky ones, but WWE always, Jim Johnson had a much better ability to write music.
I think Ruckus is doing a tremendous job.
You know what else? Deadly Games, best theme for a pay-per-view.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
'Cause it's a deadly game.
Very good. I like that.
Great theme. All right, we done?
We're done.
We're out of here.
We're done.
All right, guys, that's it for this week. Very much appreciate all of you hanging out. I am tired. I have to go to the city now. I have to get on the train and get to work, and I have a very, very long day today.
You sound so sad.
I'm very tired, dude. I gotta tell you, I'm
sad?
I have to make that appointment for the doctor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I'm very tired. I don't know why. It could be the change in the weather. It could just be a long week.
We're at the age where we're recommending each other doctors, too.
We are. We've hit that point.
Weird,
Yeah. We're at that point. All right, guys. That's it for this week. Hey, Sunday, I'll be back. Wrestling Observer Live on F4W. That'll be live this Sunday. And then on Tuesday, I'll be on with Garrett for Will I Pal. Rich, what are you doing?
Right now, I'm wrapping up the show with you. You can find me on BTC Rich on Twitter. That's my preferred platform of choice. I do a film pod with my buddy Alex called Film Class Zeros. Check that out. And I do my comic book pod, Behind the Counter 2.0. And please check all that stuff out.
Yeah, man. All right, guys. That's it for this week. See y'all later.
Later.
Peace.